Welcome to Las Vegas Lockdown Live Daily Tarot Reading for Self-Love. This is day 6 of 30. We're going to be doing some social bonding, a quick update on COVID-19, coronavirus in Las Vegas, a self-love tip of the day, and a collective read for the community. So have your cards ready to do your own reading in the comments when we get to that point.
We are locked down in Vegas for 30 days or longer, possibly, which really sucks. And we have no adult supervision.
And who knows what's going to happen here at ZRG for the next month. It's 3 p.m. in Vegas. Happy hour is officially paused for 30 days.
Yes, but we are still running amok here at ZRG with Unicorns and Fairies, making our own happy hour.
And for those of you who are just getting to know us,
I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From ZenRoseGarden.com,
home of Zen Ed Academy.
And we're going to get into today's update right now.
Into that update. So as you come on, let us know where in the world you are watching from and how things are playing out in your part of the world.
I'm telling you, it's been a little stressful here in Vegas and a little stressful just in general. So we're trying to keep our cool, but that is why we shake our olives every day. If you didn't see the olive episode, go back and watch all the episodes because
you'll understand why
we're shaking olives for the apocalypse.
And Julie, Lisa, good to see you guys. So thanks for joining us. Ginger, good to see you.
So welcome to Zombieland 2020.
Double tap.
It's happening.
All gambling in Nevada was shut down right after St. Patrick's Day because, we got to get St. Patrick's Day in at least.
We really
shut down for 30 days. And it's serious when Vegas shuts down. And then the whole world followed suit.
Well, it shut down before St. Patrick's Day, so we didn't get St. Patrick's Day. It was like midnight before, and we were done.
So we're going to be doing the reading in a bit, but now it's time for a Las Vegas COVID-19 coronavirus update.
So here's the thing, guys. This is for my Vegas peeps especially. Our numbers are growing slowly in Nevada because we don't have many tests here yet, and it's kind of on hold for us. So don't get a false sense of security. Self-quarantine, self-isolate. I can't say quarantine. I better just change that to isolate. Self-isolate and catch up on pulling weeds or trimming weeds or whatever you got growing in your yard, whichever, and hang out with us because it's just not worth it, especially if you're living in Las Vegas, because we have a huge retirement community here with a lot of older people. So be chill, catch up.
And we've got that hashtag Vegas Strong attitude, and we're going to bring it here every day. So let's do this. Lisa says, Charleston, South Carolina, locked down like everyone, and I'm losing my shit. That's one of the biggest things about self-quarantine, about self-isolation is you're going to have those moments where you don't know what the hell to do, and you might start losing your shit. So the best thing to do there is to find some kind of a community. Hang out with us while you can. Find some kind of a community. It's even better if it's a community that you can actually learn in as well as bond socially.
Oh, we're going to tell you about our community at the end of this live.
So Julie says, West Georgia, it's cray. We have numbers growing fast, including deaths. I'm pretty content in quarantine, but I needed a break. That's why we're here. Only 19 cases here, but that's going to go up. I'm sure we're a little slow here.
I am sure that number one, we've had COVID in Las Vegas a lot longer than it says because we're a tourist town. There's a lot of people going in and out, and a lot of people are speculating it's been here a lot longer, but we just don't have any tests here. So how are we doing here at ZRG? I've been a little emotional, to tell the truth, yesterday, and today I'm feeling some things. So I'm trying to reset my boundaries.
Hashtag send more wine. But we do have to put our money where our mouth is because we built Zen Rose Garden to help people through some of the hardest traumas and emotional upsets of life. And that is going to be one of the keys going through this process and this timeout, whatever you want to call it, is having some place to vent and release the shit that's going to come up, because it's going to come up. So we are here for you guys in this, and we can deal with a little wine shortage in the house temporarily.
Hashtag send more wine. But we did a video a while ago, a couple of years ago, on the 7 types of love. And this came up for us a couple of days ago. And I want to talk about a couple of those 7 types of love. Not all of them, but a couple of them right now. And we're all familiar with Eros, which is lover's love, right? It's like the romantic kind of love. And it's about the body love,
Mr. Love
you know?
Lover. Oh.
And so, but that's not, but there are two kinds of love we see people mix up when it comes to our niche, the spiritual and personal growth niche. There's ludus love, which is like, I like to call it the festival love. It's the playful love, and it's addicting. And we have a lot of it in Las Vegas on the weekends, well, pretty much every night. And it makes it easy, right? It's like the weekend festival, or the self-growth immersion for the weekend, or the drum circle at your local healing center. That you're really connected in the feel good of the moment, but it doesn't last, right? Because you don't stabilize it like friendships or your lover.
You don't build it.
Or you don't build it. And it's easy to get vulnerable in those short-term situations because you can walk away and never see these people again. You always think at the end of your retreat, we're going to stay in touch forever. But you don't, because it's a ludus love, which is the playful love.
The momentary, in the moment, you can let go when you're at a seminar, when you're doing something like a Tony Robbins event, you can let go because
you're never going to see these people again.
Exactly.
So you're really vulnerable.
But contrast that with what we're really seeking, what we're really looking for, and that is the pragma, which is the long-standing love, the Yoda couple love, okay? And this comes from going through life and being vulnerable together. This situation for Heather and I is increasing that pragma love, that pragmatic love, to just be amazing. And then you've got agape, of course, which is the love of the soul. A lot of people are feeling that right now just because we're all in something big together as a human race.
And agape love isn't necessarily, that's not really the one-to-one pragma love where you've got this long-standing connection with people.
Yoda couple.
Well, it's not just a couple thing. It's with people in your community is what I'm talking about. Is you got the ludus love, which is the connections that are short-term, vulnerable and deep but fast, and then they go away. And the pragma love, which is like your tribe love. It's like that deep, lasting tribe love. So with agape, we see it because it's the love of the soul. We don't have to know each other to express that love. People are leaving stuff on sidewalks for each other. You know, David's aunt was telling him last night about next door in their neighborhood where people are saying, what do you need? What do you need? And leaving it out on the sidewalks. You know, like, do you need, some kitty litter? I've got extra. I'll leave it on the sidewalk for you so we can have our social isolation.
Still doing the isolation while still helping people.
Finding things to do, right? So, but what we are starting to see in our world right now is a realignment of connections where before there were more of those wham bam, thank you ma'am, feel good, ludus love experiences, which are great. But now more people are ready to look at the vulnerable work of building long-term connections about that pragma, that trusting, open, vulnerable love. And we are feeling vulnerable right now. I mean, I'm feeling vulnerable all kinds of ways to Sunday right now today. Just like I was telling David this morning, I really feel like after this live, I need to curl up and have a really good cry.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cuddle session personally after this. But just an observation, and it is really good to see some of the good shifts that we are all making. There is a tremendous silver lining that is coming, or gold lining even, that is coming from this situation. So it's really good to see the globe, the world coming together, and to see so many different types of people putting their shit aside and coming together for the betterment of humanity and the betterment of themselves. But let's get back to tarot for a moment.
So we've always been big on teaching, for those of you that are our students. This is kind of big scale out there right now, but we have always been big on teaching people to be self-reliant with their intuition and to get deeper with their intuition instead of constantly running to get the cards read by someone else when something goes down, especially now. So we want you to get used to your own knowing with the cards and have a way to calm and center yourself. Right. So
before we continue, Cheryl says, Cheryl, who is one of our Zen Head members, Zen Head in the house, along with Julie and we've got Chelsea and Gina. Let's see. Cheryl says, pragma love happening till 2 a.m. with ZRG. Yes, we had our student practice last night on tarot, and that ended up running until 2 a.m. Eastern time.
Everybody just wanted to hang out. I was going to tell them about that in a minute too, because I thought that was a really cool thing that you guys did last night in the group.
And then Lisa says, ready to kill my husband. He can't even breathe my air right now. Okay. So you've got your tarot and you've got your oracle cards. Whatever you got, get them ready. because we're all going to pull the card of the day in just a minute.
But before we pull a card of the day, we want to know which tarot card fits your day today. If you've got cards, pull one now. If you don't, pick one out of the imaginary tarot deck or oracle deck in your head and drop it in the comments.
Yep. And then Julie says we needed a break in the daily grind to find ourselves.
Yeah. So it's time to tag up, think fast, drop it like it's hot in the comments, and tell us what you think it means to you.
Whatever that card is that you got, whether you're pulling a card or whether you're pulling it in your head.
So first impulse, and we will drop some insight after we do the collective pulse.
Queen of Swords.
Don't touch my cards.
2 swords that beat as one. No.
Queen of Swords.
It's not.
We're not messing around with Queen of Swords.
Now it's time for the card of the day. Well, no, that's the one that...
well, that's Queen of Hearts you're trying to sing. I know. That's the wrong song.
I know. So now it's time for the card of the day. Just to clarify, this is a collective read. This 30-day thing is about our collective energy as a global community and a social bonding moment.
So I shuffled before we came on, and this card came out, which was the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is, in general, it's about pursuing the financial and also the emotional gold in the experiences of life. So the Pentacles, it's a pentacle and not a coin like the old school, because Arthur Waite, when he made the Rider deck, was like, it's not just about money, it's about what we can create out of the earth. So we're pursuing that financial and emotional gold in the experiences of life. And the one is the ace in the deck, and it's about newness, something fresh. So with
fresh and so clean.
With the Ace of Pentacles, we can experience bliss or we can experience regret, but it is about prosperity and comfort in our material world. But it's about pursuing happiness.
I can't. I'm in a material world.
Stop.
Anyway,
stop
Becky
singing,
says pentacle porn.
Stop singing material girl.
I can't.
Stop with the Madonna. The thing is, the gold you seek is where the physical realm balances with your emotional happiness, right? It's like the pursuit of happiness. If you get too caught up in, the material things, you're not going to be, truly happy. And our challenge right now is, can we find the balance?
Right.
So with the One of Pentacles, there's the hand. The hand is traditionally the hand of God coming through with the pentacles, right? It's sort of symbolic. It's coming out of the heavens, out of the clouds. And you see, like in the distance, this little garden gate. And it kind of implies that the receiver has to leave the garden, like hashtag, or leave the comfort zone. And are you going to be responsible with your resources? So what the Ace of Pentacles is calling us to do today, and I feel like I pulled this on like day 1 or something, but it came out again today. So if I pulled this in one of the previous reads, I'm having a deja vu with this card right now. Probably. But what the Ace of Pentacles calls you to do, and why this is relevant for us today, and what we are going through is we are being called now, whether we freaking like it or not, to be responsible with our resources. What's on my tree? I got olives. I'm gonna like see if I can can some olives, right? So it's calling us to be responsible with our resources. Is that just financial resources? No. Is it just what we got in our yard that we can forage? Is it what we got in the cabinet?
Emotional resources, mental resources, whatever resources you have.
Are we using those resources for good, or are we taking time to learn new stuff? Are we taking time to call our loved ones? Are we taking time to tell people how we feel about them? Are we taking time to repair relationships that have been broken and we've been putting it off?
Right.
So it's really asking us to manage our resources. But then I've kind of been on this thing about pulling a qualifier card for it the last couple of days. Sometimes it just falls out, but the qualifier card that came out was
I want to say that Ginger probably pre-gamed this one. So the card of the day, the qualifying card,
was the Wheel of Fortune. And so there's a couple of things about this. We like the Wheel of Fortune because it's really rarely a bad card, but it depends on the deck.
Lacey, good to see you.
Hi. So the Wheel of Fortune in the Rider deck, which is one of the ones I use a few, but it's really about, it's a gateway into something new. Okay. It's a gateway into a new financial time. And it's usually a time of prosperity. So with the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune together, it's saying we have a new opportunity in the future for our prosperity, but can you manage your resources wisely? Are you going to freak out and panic and go, we're going to lose everything? Or are you going to figure out how to pivot your business, how to manage your resources, how to decide what is of value in your world? And I'll tell you why that there's like a little hidden undertone from the French deck, from the French tradition.
Paint me like one of your French decks.
They don't get that joke because it's an inside
That's fine.
joke. He's giving you an inside joke. So that's the fine. Wheel of Fortune is kind of in the French deck. It's called Fortune's Wheel, like the goddess Fortuna, which is the goddess of fortune. And it's sort of telling you that take advantage of the time and the resources, because the animals that go around the wheel are kind of saying different things like, I'm now reigning. I used to reign, but now my reign is over. Or I'm going to reign. So as they go around the wheel, they're telling you different things that, when it's your time, make the best of it.
And sometimes it's virus time and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's human time. Just saying. So Julie says, I got the Skull of Light card from the Halloween Oracle. Awesome. So as you guys drop your card, drop the why. What is your reading on that particular card? That's so crazy because I seen you guys pull that card right after I sent my comment.
That's so
there
funny.
You go. So, and Cheryl says, there's that pivot, Becky. Pivot like Ross with the sofa in the stairwell.
What is
pivot better than Ross? I think Ross ended up getting it stuck, didn't he?
Julie, what is the Skull of Light in that card? Would that be like the One of Swords? I'm kind of guessing that light, or was that the One of Wands?
I don't know.
Tell us what the light is in that.
What it represents,
deck.
Right?
Is the light
And here's another little insider tip. If you know the Rider-Waite deck, you can pretty much understand just about any other deck out there.
Right.
By the way, insider tip.
Let's see some of the ones that people got. I heard the Queen of Swords.
Yep,
Somebody
Queen
dropped
of
the Queen of
Swords.
Swords. The Queen of Swords is a person.
That was Lisa.
Okay, Lisa. The Queen of Swords is a person. If you're pulling that for yourself, you don't have time for bullshit right now. Mm-hmm. You're going to protect your tribe. You're going to protect your people.
Oh, it's an oracle deck, by the way.
Oh, okay, but
no, Julie's was.
Okay, that's
Lisa.
Why I didn't know
Lisa was Queen of.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was talking about.
Yes.
So, anyway, that's what the Queen of Swords, since David totally interrupted what I was channeling in there. So whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the Queen of Swords is a no bullshit. She takes care of her people. Mm-hmm. She has no time right now for the fluff.
She's action in the middle of chaos.
Yes.
And that would be perfect right now. The person who's got the plan takes the action, does the thing, deals with the fallout later or not.
So let's get into our self-care tip of the day.
Because now it's time for the good stuff. Anyway, now it is time for the self-care tip of the day. This is something easy to do right now to lower fear, anxiety, and depression, as well as stress.
So here's the thing. We're doing it right now. Okay, this is Andrew Newberg, I think that's his name, the guy that wrote How God Changes Your Brain, was talking in his book about if we dialogue with others, it does more for our brain than, talking to ourselves. But we can talk to ourselves all we want, but we're in isolation. When we dialogue with others, our brain gets ignited. It's just like we're doing right now. So our weekly, I was going to bring it up, our weekly tarot practice group, we have like a Sunday night weekly practice in our online school, but they pulled an all-night jam session last night till like 2 a.m. and class starts at 4.
Yeah, from 7 p.m. Eastern to 2 a.m. Eastern.
And I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're kind of planning a pajama party, tarot jam
jamma party.
And I'm like, that sounds like fun. So anyway, when we don't exercise our language skills, large portions of the brain do not effectively connect with other neural structures.
So dialogue needs social interaction, right? And that keeps your cognitive ability sharp, which is why social is such a big part of a healthy lifestyle.
So here's the deal, though. Social isolation can impact the brain in negative ways, when we don't get ahead of it and plan. And it can lead to things like aggression and depression. But it isn't just about small talk, like, how's the weather? Oh, here's the weather. Here's my kids. It's not about that kind of talk, because those are mainly monologues.
It's about stimulation.
Right. Here's all the things that are wrong with me. Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm doing.
Stimulating conversation is much different.
There's this big difference when it comes to the way our brain responds to different types of conversation. If it's a monologue conversation, which we might consider small talk. So how's the weather? The weather is just fine. It is. Oh, how are your kids? That doesn't really stimulate your brain in the same way that dialoguing does. So, but it's not just about small talk, right? Because our brain responds differently to dialoguing. So if you dialogue and you engage the brain in as much deep conversation as you can, it will be way yummier for your brain tummy, right?
Yummy for your brain tummy. Yummy for your brain tummy. Before we continue, Cheryl says, 4 of Pentacles, by the way, stop hoarding your shit. Let the energy flow. Yeah, good. Lisa says, amazing. Yes, sounds so fun.
Yes.
You got more?
4 of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards, because the 4 of Pentacles, he's got 1 Pentacles under his foot, 2 here and 1 over here. And that can be telling us 2 different things. 1, stop hoarding your shit.
Right.
2, be mindful of your resources.
Be careful of who you give your stuff to.
So I like to pull another card when you get the 4 of Pentacles, because it can have both meanings.
Right. So it kind of helps to clarify. And that's what we did today. And that's what we did for the last couple of days, is the clarifying card on top of the initial card.
So Cheryl, pull another card and see what it says about the 4 of Pentacles.
Ask for some clarity on it.
Because it can be both things, like you're being selfish with your resources, share them, or it can be mindful of your resources.
Right. And who you share those with.
Yeah.
Julie says, and I love this, she says the card in the guidebook is described as time has passed for hiding, for pretending, and for swallowing our discomfort by accepting the status quo when it really doesn't suit us. And especially now, because we're on isolation, because we're on lockdown, because we're with ourselves, we can't run anymore, right? You don't have as much freedom to run from yourself because you're with yourself.
You are right there, and there is no escaping you, right?
Solid copy. Stand by. Thanks, Cheryl.
Cheryl's going to pull in.
All right. So talk about abstract ideals.
Yeah.
Things that don't have a static construct, like maybe harmony, peace, love, or any kind of complex ideas, or even new business plans.
Like this card, this can be complex.
You want to invert it, or you want it upright?
Yeah, I pulled it out. It was inverted. That can be a complex situation right there, let me tell you. But if you're trapped in the house, make sure it was somebody that has an imagination. So I'm not going to elaborate on that card.
But avoid angry dialogues. You can have a discourse with somebody. You don't have to agree, but don't let yourself get angry for it, because then it starts to close down those neural pathways and starts to get rigid in your brain.
Well, not only does it close them down, but it dumps like nasty chemicals into your brain. Like literally, when you have angry dialogue, you know, your brain starts squirting skunk juice. So be open-minded and hear other people's opinions, especially now when we're on fight or flight mode. You know, we're trying to stay in our zen, but fight or flight is right there. You know, it's like right on the edge. Hear other people's opinions, because a lot of people are looking for solutions right now and answers, and can we do these things to prevent this thing from spreading? And so, you know, people can get in arguments. Why are they saying this? Why are they saying this? Let people have their journey to find their answers, because getting sucked into irritable conversations
and fighting about it,
that does not help your brain. It can actually squirt nasty toxins up in there, like skunk brain juice or something.
Talk about squirting things. Becky says, don't dump out the love juice. 2 of Cups reversed.
2 of Cups reversed can get a little kinky.
Don't dump out
I'll
the
just
love
tell you
juice.
right now, 2 of Cups reversed is kink, but have somebody that you're in isolation with that you trust. So
anyway,
we do all need intimacy as humans.
And dialogue creates that, an open dialogue, an open-ended, enlightening, uplifting conversation. Dialogue can create that really fast, that intimacy, but it does need time to deepen. Otherwise, you're going from that ludus love and just staying there But if you go to that ludus love and you give it that time to develop over a period of time, you start getting into that pragma love, whether it is with your partner, whether it is with good friends, whether it is with those who are like-minded, whether it is with our Zen Head crew, whatever it is, it becomes long-standing, vulnerable, and real. And this is one of the biggest things that I love about our Zen Heads and the community that we've created is that pragmatic love, that deep, long-lasting love is happening. And it is
okay, so somebody Google some Latin.
Beautiful thing. So why are you taking my emotion?
You're getting emotional?
I was.
I didn't mean to jack your emotional moment. Sorry, I just upstaged you.
Anyway, I love our people and I love the bonding that is taking place. When you've got a group of people that of their own accord, on their own, will stay together from 7 at night till 2 in the morning, just shooting the shit and talking crap, that is a bonding experience. And that is a beautiful thing to see.
I just wanted to pull a card because, I didn't want to photobomb his moment, but I pulled the King of Pentacles, and that sort of typifies David for me because he kind of is the King of Pentacles.
So Cheryl says, clarifier, Page of Wands.
Okay.
Passing you guys the mic on that one.
There's a little bit of Page of Wands. That's desire and
but it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
It's pretty fresh and new as far as kind of going out and seeing how you want to integrate with the world, especially after what's going on here. When we get back to that place where we don't have to isolate anymore, your passion levels are going to be a lot more clear.
Yeah, the Page of Wands is about passion and desire, but going out and it's like going out and getting it.
And then Becky says, I think they were out of those at the store, those 2 of Cups reverse partners. Yeah, the kinky partners, they were like toilet paper. They were the first things to be grabbed up, apparently. So Cheryl says, second that emotion. And Becky says, and reading each other with tarot. Yeah. And Julie says, I wish I was there last night. Let's do it again tonight.
So do take some time while you're isolated for some solid spiritual practice so you can make it through this crisis with your mental health as elevated as possible. I know I'm starting to feel it because my Gemini half is like, I want to go out, but I am not. My Cancer half is like, no, girl, calm down. We're going to crab it up. So keep it as elevated as possible. Yeah. And that is going to boost your immune system.
And isolation doesn't mean that you have to be alone. We do have online connections just like this.
So we'll tell you a little bit about our community right now. So officially, even though we had been teaching in-person workshops locally in Las Vegas for 10 years, actually 11, we saw a change coming a while ago, and our personal desire for a more solid community kind of prompted us to create our online metaphysical school and community 3 years ago to empower more people 24 hours a day while connecting our tribe across the globe. And here we are, boom.
So not everyone can get out to a healing center or wants to, and right now literally cannot, right? But now it's even more important to connect with other humans. If you can't do it in person, find some kind of online way to do it.
I can't guarantee that everyone in Zen Ed Academy identifies as human, but we've essentially created a fully operational healing center that fits in the palm of your hand, which means you can still get what you need, even though the entire world is grounded for a month. We got you.
Yep. So we put our heads together to find an affordable solution to help you deal with life right now. And right now, to answer, Lisa said, isn't this a paid group? Would love to hang out with them too. Yes, Lisa, it is a paid group, but during this 30-day lockdown that we've got, we are running a special. The link is in the description. We'll get to more on that in just a moment.
So because there are lots of challenges right now, we created an opportunity to get into our online school for this lockdown period and our online community for the next month more easily. So we usually, it's not usually not that easy to get in, but check that out in the description. So check out the link. If you want to get in and hang out, right now we're teaching an extensive tarot class. We have hella fun in there, and a lot of our Zen Heads are online right now. So.
And Lisa, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me personally on Facebook is probably going to be the best way. Hit me up. I will talk to you directly and answer any questions that you have. And for anybody else too, if you've got any questions about it, hit me up. Facebook's going to be the fastest way to do that.
So
remember also
to get your reverse Two of Cups on. That's all I'm saying.
Get your kink on.
Get your kink on.
Everybody's got to get their kink on.
But do remember to smile and laugh and exercise your mind and hug yourself and consciously relax and consciously breathe to activate that DMT in your lungs, right? Because that's how you do it. And dialogue, not monologue, with other people as often as you can today and for the next 30 days, especially if your kids are home from school and you're ready to heal now.
Hashtag Chelsea. Actually, Chelsea already knows that. She's already been homeschooling her kids for over 3 years, so this wasn't really a big shift for her. And then the Powerhouse says, this is the time of awakening. We are about to transform the world and creation. Stay connected in heart always.
Yeah.
Many blessings. Jenny from the block, good to see you. Late to the party, but you're here. So yeah, Powerhouse, thank you for joining us. So since you guys have watched this far, be sure to check out the goodies that we've got for you. There's a link
in the description.
Boom.
So you can find that special whatever David specially has for you.
I have specials. So again, the link is in the description. We've got plenty of goodies for you. If you liked this video,
hit the like button.
If you want to see more videos like this,
be sure to subscribe.
And spank the bell. Spank.
Go reverse Two of Cups on that bell.
Go upscale.
But don't let anybody see you and maybe film it because you might make money on the video on the internet. So
spank the bell to turn notifications on.
So you're the first to know
when we drop a new video
or go live.
And now it is time to check out these videos over here and over here, all the way everywhere. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
All of it.
All of it.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a good one.